Di era digital yang semakin berkembang, profesi di bidang teknologi informasi bukan hanya menuntut keahlian teknis, tetapi juga integritas dan tanggung jawab etis. Hari ini, kita akan berbincang langsung dengan salah satu profesional di dunia IT di perusahaan PT Milenial Membangun Negeri untuk mengetahui bagaimana nilai-nilai tersebut diterapkan di dunia kerja.
Assalamualaikum, selamat sore Mas. Sebelumnya, perkenalkan saya Devita Imarani. Rekan-rekan saya di sini sebagai mahasiswa informatika UNS. Sebelumnya terima kasih sudah meluangkan waktu untuk berbagi ilmu bersama kami. Di kesempatan ini kami ingin menyampaikan bahwa wawancara ini dilakukan sebagai bagian dari tugas mata kuliah etika profesi dengan tujuan memahami praktik profesional di dunia kerja secara langsung. Karena itu pertama-tama, bolehkah Mas memperkenalkan diri terlebih dahulu?
So my name is Raihan. I'm the owner of Digidream Space and Digidream's ID. Basically, there is like a lot of jobs or a lot of tasks that I have to do because in here I'm still building this business. So I have to be like HR leader and mentor as well in here. So it's basically a lot, but the most important thing is manage my people that working in here.
Oke, kurang lebih gitu ya.
Ya.
Kalau dalam bidang IT itu kira-kira pekerjaannya ngapain aja ya Mas?
So it's two business model that we do in IT. First, we offering solution, and second is building my product as well.
Oke, luar biasa. Berarti Mas ini intinya ada dua bisnis plan, ada dua bisnis model gitu ya.
Yes.
Yang pertama tuh kurang lebih seperti konsultan IT, mirip seperti itu ya Mas?
Yeah, that's correct.
Gitu. Terus yang kedua sebagai buka working space ini ya.
Yes, that's correct.
Jadi kalau di perusahaan ini tuh kira-kira apa keahlian yang wajib dimiliki seorang untuk bisa bekerja di posisi ini?
It's actually depend in the position because there is like many position in here. For example, we have like a front end position and then back end position and UI UX position as well. So it's depend on the position. For example, like if you want to join as a front end here, of course you have to know about the CSS, HTML, and then React and Next.js and etc. You know, but if you want to join as a back end position in here, of course you have to know about Golang, Express because we using that technology. Also, for if you want to join as a mobile engineer in here, of course you have to know about React Native or Flutter because our existing project is built on Flutter, but we have a plan to migrating from Flutter into React Native because I think because in the front end we already use React. I think why not if we don't use React Native as well. So I think it's dependent again.
Nah kalau tadi itu kan yang disebutin Masnya tuh kebanyakan hard skill-nya aja ya Mas.
Ya.
Nah kan juga penasaran kira-kira untuk soft skill-nya itu apa aja yang dibutuhkan di sana ini, kayak misalkan kemampuan komunikasi atau problem solving-nya gitu, pengambilan keputusan juga seperti apa?
Communication, action, and then attendance. I think that's it, yeah. And also maybe teamwork, yeah. Because in here, we doing project as a team. We using Git for that, and of course you have to commit with your teammate, right? So I think your teamwork in here is matter as well.
Berarti benar-benar nggak cuma hard skill aja yang kita butuhin di sini itu ya Mas.
Yes.
Tapi kemampuan komunikasi dan kerjasama sebagai tim itu juga sangat penting ya.
Yeah.
Apalagi attitude-nya juga penting.
Of course, yeah, that's right.
Oke, berarti kalau menurut Mas nih ya, rata-rata karyawan di sini tuh kira-kira kinerja dan kompetensinya gimana ya?
I think so far, of course, in the first, they not doing that I want. For example, again, I have to teach them about how to be good communication with me or even with your teammate because as we know in IT field, like a lot of introvert people, but for now it's getting better. They doing quite well.
Karena Masnya juga kebanyakan bekerja sama dengan orang-orang yang masih muda tergolongnya ya, jadi
that's right.
Kebanyakan masih mungkin masih terlalu introvert gitu ya.
Yeah, that's right.
Gitu. Kalau dalam pengembangan program atau project itu kan biasanya perlu menerapkan security by design ya Mas. Di mana security by design itu merancang keamanan sejak awal proses pengembangan gitu. Nah kira-kira kalau menurut Mas tuh gimana pemahaman dan penerapan prinsip security by design ini penting bagi tim gitu? Bagaimana tingkat kepentingannya?
I think
Apakah
we
diterapkan
not
juga?
implement that in here because most the project in here like just landing page or just small project, not like a large project or scalable project. So I think we not implement that security at first. Maybe in the future we will implement that. But we're not just okay, it's working, so we can post to production. Not like that. We also doing tests. We also doing like workflow. Like we review our code first, and then we post into staging first, and we do testing in here, and we make sure all the feature there's like no bug, there's no crash or something.
Kira-kira kalau di perusahaan ini tuh gimana jalur pengembangan karirnya gitu ya Mas? Terutama bagi profesional IT itu apakah ada seperti naik pangkat atau perubahan posisi gitu?
We start from intern because right now I'm recruiting a lot of intern team in here, and if they can perform well when their internship and they doing good, of course I will offering them to be employed here. And then if our business is growing up and we recruit a lot of people, of course if you've been along here, you will be the senior position in here.
Kira-kira apakah orang yang berkomitmen terhadap etika dan mungkin keamanan data atau semacamnya itu juga bisa menjadi salah satu pertimbangan dalam promosi jabatan? Kayak apakah attitude itu berpengaruh gitu sih Mas?
Yeah, of course that's important to me because like I said in the first past question, attitude is matter for me because I love people can doing good communication, good attitude, good action, something like that. They get initiative to doing their job, not just waiting for my instruction.
Oh gitu, kita juga penasaran Mas, gimana perusahaan tuh apakah perusahaan mendukung pembelajaran berkelanjutan gitu ya Mas bagi karyawan, kayak memberi lifelong learning gitu, apakah ngasih course atau mungkin pembelajaran secara langsung gitu?
Yeah, of course. Again, because our team is most of them is intern, and of course they lack of experience. So of course for some time I teach them about the basic and fundamental of, and for some time as well I give them course in Udemy to learn by themselves and yeah.
Kira-kira di perusahaan ini tuh sertifikasi apa yang paling dihargai atau dianggap penting gitu sama perusahaan ini?
Actually, I'm not really looking for certification in here because again in IT you have to prove that you can build or you can running this project. Certification is matter, but for now in IT position in here it's not really matter. So yeah, I'm more focused on the hard skill or the portfolio.
Karena sebenarnya perusahaan ini nggak terlalu mementingkan sertifikasi. Apakah sebenarnya perusahaan ini juga memberikan dukungan pelatihan gitu yang bisa memberikan sertifikasi? Apakah ada gitu?
Actually no, because again I'm not focused on certification in here, but we focus on result. We focus on result because a lot of client want the project is finished as soon as possible. For some time they have to finish like in 1 month to even 1 week and something like that. So no, the answer is no.
Oke, kalau gitu sekarang kami mau tanya tentang organisasi profesi nih Mas. Kalau di perusahaan ini itu apakah karyawan didorong untuk bergabung dengan organisasi gitu seperti SCM atau IEEE atau Computer Society atau semacamnya gitu?
Of course not, because you work in here to finish our project. So there's need a lot of time to spend. Of course, even in the real situation, the timeline is not good enough to finish. So I'm not recommend my employee to join an organization or something like that. But maybe if they have a lot of free time in here, of course, I'm not stop them to join organization or something like that. Yeah, as long they can manage the time well, it's okay.
Apakah ada panduan kode etik internal Mas yang diadaptasi dari organisasi internasional gitu yang diterapkan sih?
Not really. Again, because our focus is doing the project well. We don't have time to doing that because we have a lot of deadline.
Kalau gitu, kalau misalkan tim dihadapkan oleh dilema gitu pas kayak dilema etik antara efisiensi teknis sama tanggung jawab etis antar pekerja, itu kira-kira gimana perusahaan menyikapinya Mas?
Right. But as long as I know in IT field, like stealing code from Stack Overflow, GitHub, I think there is no problem because it's different from design. Maybe if you steal design from people or organization, of course they will meet because it's they are, of course we have to give some credit if we use the design or we use the template from somewhere. But for stealing code from Stack Overflow or GitHub, we don't give some credit because we don't know as well where is the code from. So it's different to give some credit in the code. But again, if it's about design, of course we give some credit if we use the template for free and for the commercial reason.
Apakah pernah sih Mas, jadi ada suatu kasus di mana terjadi pelanggaran di antara karyawan, misalkan ada kebocoran data gitu, orangnya menyebarkan data yang harusnya tidak disebarkan ke orang lain atau semacamnya. Kira-kira kalau misalkan terjadi hal seperti itu, bagaimana perusahaan menanganinya, Mas?
So far there is no issue about the lack of data, something like that here. Yeah, of course there is some consequence if they doing that. But first I'm more like doing in the smooth way, like we communicate, we discuss each other, and then if they cannot solve the problem.
Apakah di sini di perusahaan ini apakah ada pelatihan rutin untuk menanamkan tentang etika digital gitu, seperti keamanan informasi bagi karyawan di perusahaan itu?
Not in the formal way, but of course I give some information about it to my employees, but not in a formal way. It's just me telling about that as personally to them, and I more love to share about the finance because it's out of topic, but I want to share. But because a lot of young people afraid to doing investment, but in my opinion, it's such important thing to do. So I give them about knowledge about investment, basic investment, like in the stock, in crypto, and in mutual fund as well, and something like that. So I more often give knowledge about finance. Alright.
Oke, berarti kurang lebih seperti itu. Baik Mas Rehan, terima kasih banyak sudah meluangkan waktu untuk berbagi pengalaman dan pandangannya hari ini.
Yep.
Semoga wawasan yang Mas bagikan bisa menjadi inspirasi bagi kita semua ya Pak.
Mas dong.
Mas, biar bisa menjadi seorang yang profesional dan beretika dalam bekerja di bidang IT. Sekali lagi terima kasih dan semoga sukses selalu ya Mas.
Thank you so much, Devita from WNS. Dadah.
Bye.
Subscribe to my channel ya. Subscribe link in the below.
Oke.
Dari perbincangan ini, kita belajar bahwa menjadi profesional di bidang IT bukan hanya soal menguasai teknologi, tetapi juga bagaimana menjaga nilai, integritas, dan tanggung jawab. Karena pada akhirnya, kemajuan teknologi tidak akan berarti tanpa manusia yang beretika. Terima kasih sudah menyaksikan, sampai jumpa di kesempatan berikutnya.